It's pretty hard to argue against that, Clinton, the 2016 Democratic nominee, said at the Time 100 summit in Manhattan. Because it was such a full-throated attack that was aimed at propagandizing people, dividing our country, creating all kinds of disruptions, from phony protests and demonstrations to all kinds of agents and bots acting as though they were Americans debating politics. Clinton specifically noted the polling information shared with a Russian associate by former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and the hacking of the Democratic National Committee's servers by the Kremlin. It certainly had an impact, she said. To what extent, it's hard to tell because we haven't really investigated that. Special counsel Robert Mueller's two-year investigation concluded that the Russian government interfered in the 2016 election in sweeping and systemic fashion in an effort to boost Donald Trump's presidential campaign and to disparage Clinton. A redacted version of Mueller's report was released last week that detailed the two-year investigation of attacks by the Russian government on the 2016 election, but found no conspiracy with Trump's campaign, and drew no conclusions about charging Trump with obstruction. Clinton said Congress needs to see the full, redacted version. Clinton's comments come amid a debate among Democrats whether Trump's repeated attempts to obstruct justice chronicled in the Mueller report justify pursuing his impeachment. So I have a kind of weird personal history about impeachment and not what you're thinking, Clinton said. Her husband, President Bill Clinton, was impeached for lying during a deposition about his affair with Monica Lewinsky, a White House intern. Hillary Clinton served as a staff attorney for the House Judiciary Committee in the impeachment of President Richard Nixon during Watergate. Clinton also cautioned that impeachment shouldn't be a preordained conclusion. It shouldn't be what you do for partisan political purposes, almost outside the framework of the Constitution, she said. It should be something undertaken in a really serious, diligent way, based on evidence, not on partisan advantage. At the same time, Clinton said that additional public hearings are necessary to determine whether there's an impeachment case to be made against Trump. Earlier this week, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler, DNY, issued a subpoena to former White House counsel Don McGahn, who is prominent in the Mueller report. Earlier at the Time summit, Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law and White House senior advisor, sought to downplay the effectiveness of Moscow's election meddling. Russia did more than buy a couple of Facebook ads, U.S. investigators have determined. Last year, the Department of Justice charged 13 Russians and 3 Russian entities for allegedly carrying out an elaborate plot to interfere in the 2016 election. The Russian operatives allegedly used fake social media accounts, created false advertisements and even traveled to the United States in an effort to support Trump's White House bid. Sounding like his father-in-law, Kushner said the investigations into Russian interference in the election were an excuse by Trump's opponents to try to explain his improbable victory. All these people thought Trump was going to lose. They all predicted Trump was going to lose. They were wrong, Kushner said. The American electorate in this great democratic system chose the opposite. And I think that instead of saying, "Oh wait, we got it wrong," they said, "Well, maybe it was Russia." And I think we've spent 2 years going through that nonsense.